Russia tests firing nuclear-capable missiles.
What's the latest on Ukraine, Mr. President?
Just hours after the American president said his Russian counterpart has made up his mind and will follow through with his threat of an invasion of Ukraine that could happen in days.
If you're just joining us, our top story, this breaking story, Russia launching a full-scale invasion of Ukraine with attacks on targets across the country. Kiev is saying that dozens of people have been killed, many have been injured in large-scale air and ground assault by Russian forces. And Russian President Putin says he has launched the military operation to, quote, secure the future of Russia as a sovereign nation.
The views expressed on this channel are those of the video's creator, and not those of YouTube, Google, their staff, and/or affiliates. YouTube, Google, their staff, and/or affiliates shall not be held liable for the views, expressions, and comments made on this channel.
This is an Omega Watchman Media Group production.
Due to the mature nature of this content, language, and depth, viewer discretion is advised.
This is an Omega Watchman Media Group production.
And ye shall hear of wars, and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in divers places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And they shall not escape.
And through those 70 years, as I mentioned yesterday, there has been peace and security.
There has been peace and security.
We meet in the face of the most serious global peace and security crisis in recent years.
We meet in the face of the most serious global peace and security crisis in recent years.
And certainly in my time as Secretary General. Our world is facing a moment of peril. I truly hoped it would not come.
Russian lawmaker claims the sole purpose of the attack is to secure peace, saying Russia has never been an enemy.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has ordered troops to enter 2 separatist regions in eastern Ukraine. He's calling it a peacekeeping mission.
He's calling it a peacekeeping mission.
After he recognized Donetsk and Luhansk as independent.
This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion Selah. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God.
This is an Omega Watchman Media Group production.
President Vladimir Putin says any country that interferes will get an immediate response. KTLA's Eric Spillman in the newsroom with the latest. Eric.
Morning, Megan. Morning, Chris. Russia is attacking Ukraine from multiple directions, from the north, the east, and the south, bombarding cities, towns, and villages. Russia began its full-scale invasion of Ukraine at 5 a.m. local time. Ukraine's foreign ministry says the airstrikes targeted several airfields, including the largest airport in Kyiv. Russia launched rockets to take out Ukrainian fighter jets parked at military bases. It said it had disabled all of Ukraine's air defenses. Ukraine says it shot down 6 Russian fighter jets and a helicopter to maintain control over key cities. There's no way of knowing exactly how many casualties there are. The Associated Press is reporting that at least 40 people have been killed.
There was a moment about 24 hours ago where the administration thought Vladimir Putin could be deterred, but that moment passed. The administration has been predicting this invasion for weeks and laid out all the intelligence. They said they hoped they were wrong, but they are clearly right tonight. The invasion started exactly as the way they predicted, with cyber attacks, with electronic warfare, and then we saw those blasts around Kyiv. But several hours before this attack began, I got a message from a senior Pentagon official who said, "You are likely in the last few hours of peace on the European continent for a long time to come," adding, "Be careful." A very sobering message, but captures exactly what we are facing here in Ukraine, on the European continent. The most dangerous time, as they've said over and over at the Pentagon, since World War II. I am told by a senior U.S. official that Vladimir Putin is increasingly erratic, but he could not be deterred, that several of his senior aides were concerned about what he was doing, but he would not hear it. So this is something we are going to be watching day after day. It's something that could be here, could last months and months and months.
By land, sea, and air, Russia launched the invasion of Ukraine by bombing major cities and targeting airports. It was the biggest attack by one state on another in Europe since World War II. President Putin spoke moments before the assault began, saying the country had launched a special military operation and its goal to demilitarize Ukraine. Convoys of Russian tanks were seen rolling across the borders in the north, south, and east. And rockets landed here in the capital, Kyiv. Ukrainian president addressed the nation, calling on all citizens to defend the country. Russia has attacked our state in a cunning way, he said, in the way Nazi Germany did in the Second World War. From today, our countries are on opposing sides of world history.
This is an Omega Watchman Media Group production.
And now to the country's strategic deterrence forces on display. In other words, nuclear drills, a massive show of strength from the world's largest nuclear power. These are short-range Iskander cruise missiles, nuclear-capable, ground-launched and frighteningly accurate. And the air-launched Kinzhal hypersonic cruise missile, which can also carry nuclear warheads, with Russia leading the way in hypersonic missile technology. The Commander-in-Chief Vladimir Putin and his Belarusian counterpart watched on a giant screen in the Kremlin Situation Room. And with Russia's full capabilities on display are these huge nuclear drills, brought forward and announced publicly only yesterday, an illustration that Russia's calculus has changed and that invasion is decided on, as the US president says and Russia denies.
тревога, ракетная атака.
Боевая тревога, ракетная атака. Лишь ставу не починал покинуть 4 и 5 отсеки. Создание рубежа обороны, на кормовой переборке 3 отсека, носовой переборке 5 отсека. Командир рубежа обороны в активном отсеках.
This is an Omega Watchman Media Group production.